All right, fans, get ready. Second game of the preseason for the Miami Dolphins versus the Giants. Stay tuned. All right, fans, welcome to SNJ channel. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are having a lovely Saturday. Today, the Miami Dolphins will face the New York Giants at 4 o'clock at Hard Rock Stadium. Key things I am looking for this game today, because they had a tough, I won't say tough. Let's be honest. They had a scrimmage game against the Giants. It didn't look as well as we anticipated, but there were some good things, there were some bad things they have to work on, and things that I'm seeing that we need to take care of. And if you see here on my screen, the first one I got here is protect the quarterback. Listen, Malik Willis was pressured a lot in the line of scrimmage. I told by reporters that he was sacked like 6 times. The pressure was on. Now, different game today because they got the pads on. They start at 4 o'clock. And let's see how good the young offensive line could do Saturday, how they could show up protecting the quarterback. Number 2 for me, it is very important. How can the defense respond? Okay. Defense had some good plays. I believe they got pushed around by the offensive tackle of the Giants. How do they respond? Turnovers, sack, pressuring Dart, which that's one of my concerns. I don't believe the Giants will start their starters. If they do, probably the same thing that happened with Miami in the first series, put in the starter and continue to go from there and, change players, second string, third string. And that's one thing I want to see about the Miami Dolphins today. How well the second string, third string. I don't believe Quinn Ewers is playing. There's a lot of players that are not playing. A lot of starters for the Dolphins that are not playing. On the good side, I do want to see Caleb Douglas, Malik, Washington, and the offensive side. Wide receiver with more plays, more explosive plays. That's what I want to see. And that's my first 2. And my third one, and I know I'm going too fast, but my third one is this one, which is very important, guys. How long would Coach Jeff Hafley will leave their starters in the game? There's only one game left of preseason against the Atlanta Falcons, of course, at home. I believe Jeff needs to put in players that really, really are in the bubble right now that will not make this team to show up if they want to make this team, which is kind of difficult. But I also believe that the starters should go probably a quarter, at least a quarter in this game. I know last game was only, 13 plays, 12 plays, and then they were all out. I want to see more from, Jonah, Proctor, we know Patrick Paul already. Brewer, the center, was manhandled by the Giants in the scrimmage. And it's okay because it's just scrimmage game. In scrimmage game, they don't have pads on. They just, 11 on 11, and that's how they practice. But now they got the pads on. I mean, we saw it against the Commanders. Let's be honest. They did a good drive. They scored a touchdown, and then he took them out. And the second string, third string, doesn't look. Now, I care less whether they win or lose the game in preseason. I am not looking at that. Sorry. I'm still under the weather. I'm looking at what these players could do, this young team. I mean, 13, drafted rookies this year. I want to see the veterans. Of course, we have injury with Zach Sealer, Brooks, Grant. Listen, it's piling up, but at the same time, Jeff Lee's not going to force these players to get back in the field and get hurt again. We still got, 2 more weeks? We got a week of last preseason against the Atlanta Falcons, like I said. Then we off that week, and then we start the regular season. So there's key stuff that I'm looking at. Can the defense respond, getting pushed around on portion of Thursday practice? Miami needs much better showing. That was one of the things I was talking about. Quarterback depth. Guys, Quinn Ewers' injury make the backup competition particularly important. This is something that it does worry me for Quinn Ewers. And I know Jeff has all the trust in him, but I also believe that we need a good backup quarterback. Will Miami get a quarterback the moment that all these players that get released by preseason start doing the roster cut? I believe so. I believe Miami will sign probably a veteran, an experienced quarterback. Now, maybe not the same style as Malik Willis, and that's one thing we have to acknowledge. Because I'll tell you something, Malik Willis is a great quarterback, guys, but at the same time, he's being pressured and he's running a lot out of the pocket. Those things could turn into turnovers. He's an accurate quarterback. He could throw. He has a good arm. But I have concern because we need protection. Okay, yes, we got a bunch of young guys up front. Another depth that I'm looking for is the offensive line. We need to add at least a couple offensive linemen. What we got right now, let's be honest, it's not really as good as we think it is. Excuse me, on the depth chart. I think we need to add also veterans, presence in the offensive line. Austin Jackson, listen, if he stay healthy, it's a good thing. But Austin Jackson is just, I won't say mediocre. There's good games, there's bad games. Listen, looking at the teams that Miami is going to face this coming up, opening season, they're going to play tough defense. Big, solid, quick defense. How well the offensive line respond, I just don't know right now. But I'm going to keep myself optimistic. I like what I see. I like what Jeff is doing. It is a competition across the board for everybody in that roster. It's yours to keep to win it if you show up. Another part I'm worried about too is the secondary. That's another one. Jacob Rodriguez continue to amaze everybody. I mean, listen, Zach Thomas didn't say he was amazing for no reason. He is amazing. The guy is just he just have good eyes for the ball, and he does remind me of Zach Thomas. Size and everything, but I know their skills are probably different. But the guy is all over the field. He had an interception and he had a breakout pass last week. Or this week just passed, sorry, because they did practice Thursday. So this week. But now it's where it gets interesting. Your second week, 1 week left of preseason, and then you got to cut your roster from 91 to 53. So Jeff has probably his homework cut out. I mentioned this in my last video. We do have 41 players signed for a 1-year contract. But all these 41 players make the team? We have no idea. Players were past injuries like Storm Duck. Maybe their job is on the line. I mean, it's hard when you don't practice. You don't get involved in any kind of a football activity. Yeah, you put it on the PUP list and you could do. I mean, unfortunately, we have things that, hey, you sit down the rest of the year, which is terrible, and that's what we don't need. But that's part of sports, no injury. But once again, man, I feel that Jeff's going to have to really, really evaluate, as we're doing as podcasters, sports podcaster, evaluate the team and look what they really have for the upcoming season. I believe it is a young group in the offensive line. It is, okay. I think we got a good defense. I think we have one of the best linebacker core to anybody in the NFL. And quote me if I'm wrong. I know you guys might disagree. Our secondary, I could say 50-50. If we get, Juju Brent back and we could get some of these players, Trader back and from injuries and perform. And it's just a test. It's going to be a daily test. And like Jeff said, they're rookies. They're going to make mistakes. The only thing about mistakes, either you get better at it or you just don't fit the program. That's how I feel. But they're building a winning franchise. Just to give very optimistic Dolphin fans out there, they're building something good. They are. And listen, I say it again. I'm really, really impressed what they have done so far. So far with this team. Okay, I like the way Jeff Hafley has conducted himself. Okay, Solly, the general manager, the GM, also how they bring in skilled players to help this team. Okay, and this takes a time to evaluate to see what we have. We get these new coaches and new GMs, and we think that we're going to the same routine with Greer and McDaniel and Flo and all these new coaches we ever had in Miami, which is amazing. Since Don Shula, we had 15, 20 coaches already. It's just crazy. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's a winning franchise. It is. Okay. It was one of the best franchises years ago. But hey, it's like a hill. You climb up and down. And we are in a downhill, and now we're climbing up. And I believe we're going to be on top for a while. Trust me. Yeah, we got the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we got the New York Jets. We have all these teams that are improving, okay? And listen, I look at the Lamar Jackson. I look at Josh Allen, and I'm looking at the AFC East. Their windows are closing. They got into playoffs, but their windows are closing. They won a Super Bowl. These are great quarterbacks. And I see one thing. Malik, Allen, and Lamar Jackson, just in the AFC East. Okay, they have the same thing. The only thing is Malik needs more experience. But Allen they could run, they could throw, they have arm strength. They pose the defense trouble if they stay healthy. Because I tell you, Allen could rush up the middle, and he cannot. Allen looks like a freaking linebacker instead of a quarterback. Lamar Jackson, okay, not that type of body as Allen, but Lamar Jackson could beat you with his feet. If he don't beat you with his arm, he beats you with his feet. So there's things that I see Malik Willis in that category. Is he there yet? No, he's not there yet. But he's close to it, depending how many games he played this season. I expect Malik to play, I'm going to say 15 games, 14 games, give the other quarterback at least 3 games the way the season goes by and see what he could do. The only thing is protection. It starts up front, guys, protection. You win games on both sides of the field. One thing I was doing last night, and it's funny how it says, what win games? Run the ball, pass the ball. What the defense got to do? The opposite. They got to stop the run. They got to stop the pass. And when I saw that, I said, yeah, that is so true. I believe running the ball will eat the clock, have a better chance of you winning. Throwing the ball, yeah, you can win too, but you will not eat the clock as fast as you can. And on the defensive side, you need to stop the run. They got to beat you on the pass. You got a good running defense, then you got to show up on your secondary, on the defensive side, that you could make turnovers. See, this is my thing. The main thing of the Miami Dolphins on the defensive side, it's going to be the pass rush. It starts up front. You put a pass rush, pressure on the quarterback, you're going to commit turnovers. On the other hand, Miami continue to run the ball, which I believe Miami will be probably in the top 10, top 5 when it comes running the ball. I think they will be able to run the ball. They got 3 great running backs. So I would like to see more today at 4 o'clock. Hopefully, I wish I could go live at 4 o'clock. I don't know yet, depending on my schedule. I would like to do one of these games, and if I do, I'll let you guys know. If you don't see me, just put your notification bell and you'll see it. Listen, I just want to see the players play more. I want to see them, to be honest, I want to see them more than one quarter. I want to see Malik. Of course, I don't want to see nobody get injured. But listen, right now, the big question, Miami Dolphin, who's your backup quarterback? That's number one. The protection on the offensive line, the depth, your backup. My thing is concerned now is the second string, third string today. If the first string do well and Jeff does the same thing he did last week, take him out. I'm okay with it. But listen, second and third string, I'll be honest with you, your job is on the line. Why? Because you're going to have to show that you're competing and you're hungry and you want to win and you want to stay in this team. Because this is where the evaluation is going to come in. Remember, we're only 1 week away, 2 weeks away from opening game against Las Vegas Raiders. But at the same time, you have to remember one thing. Okay, you got to cut your roster from 91 to 53. So it's going to be interesting, guys. Very interesting. But listen, I want to thank everybody that have subscribed to my channel. Thumbs up, the like. Listen, take your time. Anything you want to see different. I'm trying to change things around again. I want to feel more comfortable on what I'm doing. Listen, there's going to be agreement and disagreement, and that's okay. We all have different opinion, but I'm staying at the positive side. Yes, there's things that we don't like to see of our team, but at the same time, who are we to criticize our team? Yeah, well, you have the right to criticize. You have the right to say whatever you want to say, which I'm okay with it because that's your opinion. But at the same time, listen, I'm going to give this coach really a break. I'm going to give this GM a break because, we don't want to fall back into we're back into the same thing. This team did something, and I'll leave it with this, that it's amazing how Solly came in here and Jeff as his head coach and clean house. We wish all the players that were here the best as their journey moves on to another team. But now it is Solly and Jeff team. And they're going to build something that I always say in their press conference. Okay, Troy Aikman said it better too. You want to bring back a franchise, a winning franchise. It was a great franchise. All right. And listen, what hurt Miami through the years, guys, is just adding pieces to the puzzle. See, we didn't add pieces to the puzzle for Tua. We didn't add pieces to the puzzle for any quarterback after Dan Marino that came in here. And we didn't add a running back for Dan Marino. He probably would have won 2 Super Bowls. Probably won 3 or 4 Super Bowls if he was with another team. We just didn't fulfill what we need to fulfill for this ball club. And what happened is we tried to get the best player in this team to see what we could do. And I look at the contract at Tyreek Hill. I look at the contract at Tua Tagovailoa looking back. I look when he was drafted. Miami knew what we were getting when we drafted Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not taking nothing away from the guy. Listen, he's a great guy. Just right now, he's just an injury pro, and that's what he is. And unfortunately, there's things in life you got to, make decisions with. But then you get Tyreek Hill, fastest receiver. Then you drafted Waddle. Okay, you trade Gesicki. You had Devontae Parker. I mean, I look at all these players, and Miami decided to sign all these contracts for what? You didn't show nothing for it. Only a winning season. What, with McDaniel? Probably 2 winning seasons. After that, the rest were losing season. Then injury come up, and then all these rumors, and that's why I don't get involved in all these speculation things that comes out in the media, because some are true, some are not. I'm not saying they're false information, but you guys, you just got to be careful what you hear, what you see. Now we have a team, and unfortunately, some of our Dolphin fans are upset because here we go again. Well, we don't know that, okay? But I think they deserve a chance. I think Solly and Jeff deserve a chance for the Miami Dolphins. At least give them this year and say, hey, let's see what we got, we'll evaluate. Will you get upset if they win 4 games and go, or will you be surprised if they win 7 and they go 7-10? I mean, there's things that just make you think, 4-13, or they're only going to win 2 games all year. Some people got them winning 1 game, or some people have only beaten the Jets twice the rest of the year and losing against everybody. We don't know that because it's a game situation every week. It's different every week. Either you grow from your mistake week to week, because if you're declining week to week, you're just not going to make it. And this is where I think Jeff and And Sully will sit down next year. Let's say the Dolphins have a bad season and say, hey, man, this does not work. We're going to have to get this. Because let me tell you something. They're good at drafting talent. They are good. I mean, because you got to see it. You got to see what Sully has done with the Green Bay Packers, and so does Jeff. Okay? But now, we're building a team around this new regime. So now you have, I think, coaches more free to coach, more open to coach. When I believe McDaniel and Greer, it's like they were the only two guys taking charge, and then Greer took over, and then the owner, all this stuff. Not anymore. Look how they changed the front office. Look how they changed everything. So there's something good coming out of this. But anyhow, you guys have a lovely Saturday. Hopefully I see you this afternoon at 4:00. That's the game today. It'll be the Giants versus the Dolphins once again at Hard Rock Stadium. I would like to see what I'm seeing, a team that is growing on a daily basis. I see a team that has talent, growth, short on depth, but I think they'll be okay as long as no more players get hurt, as long as these preseason go fast. And remember, third week, players get cut, get released after preseason. Can Miami pick a player? I believe Miami will pick a couple of players. I do believe that. But anyhow, thank you so much and enjoy your Saturday. Fins up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.